Hello and welcome to Wealth Hub, where we talk about finance, investment, banking. On today's show, we're going to be talking about investment clubs. What makes them successful? What are the challenges that they are facing? And in studios today, we've been blessed to be with a gentleman. His name is Remigious. I've known Remigious for so many years, from way back as their investment clubs were hosted in Centenary. That was when we used to partner with Centenary Bank. And that's when I met Remigious for the first time. And I loved his energy when it came to investment clubs. He is a farmer and he farms. I've seen him do quite a couple of things like fruits. Maybe he'll tell us more about that. But he loves farming and he does it for a living. But his interest in investment clubs has not only seen him in one, but actually three of them. The reason why Remigious is here is to just help us share the successes, the challenges, and what we can learn from the experience he has for the so many years he's been involved with investment clubs. So Remigious, I would love you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people listening to us.
Thank you, Sharon. My name is Remigious Tebajjwa. I'm a farmer. I'm also a traveler. I do travel consultation and, of course, investment consultation. I belong to 3 investment clubs, and I've formed 2 of them, and I've joined one from my friends who asked me to join them. I'm very passionate about investment, and I'm very passionate about seeing youth growing and, of course, fighting the problem we have in Africa, that is unemployment. So thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome.
And I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you.
Of course, we are going to talk about investment clubs. And first of all, I would like to elaborate more about what investment clubs are.
Correct.
Because this is something very new to Uganda. And we're still having some challenges about with the government. That's what I can say.
Okay.
First of all, investment clubs, when you talk about investment clubs, a person who's far from Kampala will not understand what investment club is. But of course, they have been doing this thing for quite long, even before we started introducing investment clubs to Uganda.
The word.
The word.
Yes.
They've been having these cash rounds. They have been having what they used to call Nigina. Yes. I think you're very aware of Nigina, where they used to save their money, and of course they share it. Now, the only thing which is quite different from what they used to do is the word investment or investing.
So what you're trying to say is, time immemorial, we've been having investments or investment clubs, informal investment clubs.
Yes.
People save money, but they do cash rounds.
Yes.
Now, the difference with the modern way or the right way is when this money is invested, let's not just collect and give it to somebody, but we make investments and we grow the money.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because even when we look at the definition of investment club, we see that it is a group of people who come together to save money and invest. That is the easiest way I can say it.
So saving alone is not enough. It has to be deployed in an investment.
That's where the word investment comes in. Because number one, if we are talking about investment, we are looking at growth side. We are looking at making this money multiply. We are not looking at making the money to depreciate in value. Because we all know that if you keep your money maybe in a pot in your house, the value keeps depreciating. For example, if you want to buy a piece of land somewhere, and by that time it was costing 1 million, by the time you go back to buy it after like 1 year or maybe 2 years, it will be more than 1 million. So that means your 1 million that you saved has depreciated in value.
If it's not invested.
If it's not invested. So the biggest challenge comes in is where to invest, what to invest in, and how are we going to make sure that we are not losing our money if we invest.
Correct. Loss of money. And I think majority of investment clubs have faced a challenge of poor administration,
Yes.
poor transparency.
Yes.
You find that people collect money and they end up losing this money because of poor management, poor decision making. And that leads us to the challenges now. What are some of those challenges that you have faced in the 3 investment clubs you're a part of that you can share? But besides sharing the challenges, we would like to also get your side of the story on how they can proactively address those problems and challenges they face.
When I came back from South Africa, that was in 2015. I had some investment clubs I knew in South Africa, and they were doing well. So when I came back here in Uganda, of course, I managed to talk with my friends whom I used to go to same school with, and we had a WhatsApp group where we used to, share about different topics, but most of the topics were not beneficial to us.
Fun and entertainment.
Fun and entertainment, of course. So I introduced the thing of investment club. And to my surprise, the word investment club was totally new to so many. But however, they knew what cash rounds meant. And they knew Nigina and they knew, other stuff. So when I introduced them to investment clubs, out of 100 people that I called to join me, of course, they came for a drink and all they attended the party to get a drink and have fun. Yeah. But when I started talking about investment club, out of 100, I only got 3 people.
Wow.
Because the rest were like,
you were so lucky to get those 3.
Well, yeah.
People live for today.
Exactly.
In Uganda, people live for today. And what I've seen, if you had told there are 100, there's a party. Or there's plot to go and have fun at a bar.
Exactly.
You would get 80 in that place.
Exactly.
You talk about investment, you talk about growth. People are not willing to invest to grow money. But they're very happy to spend the little they've earned now and forget about tomorrow, will take care of themselves.
Yeah, I realized that, and it was a real a bro to me, because I was like, I didn't expect for people to turn up so many just to have fun, but they shunned me away when it came to investment.
Yeah.
So I realized that one of the biggest challenges we had was people didn't know what really investment meant.
Yes.
And I realized that a lot was missing. Maybe I felt like I should translate everything about investment clubs into the local language that we all understood, like Nigin and all that. And it was not easy. So I also faced another challenge where so many opt for the jackpot mentality.
Quick gains. Yeah.
Jackpot mentality has destroyed so many youths here in Africa that we have seen so many people coming up with different pyramid schemes, as we know. So everyone was like, Mfunira muwa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where do I benefit from?
Yeah.
And they didn't care about retirement. They didn't care about anything, but all they cared about was Mfunira muwa.
Yeah.
So I got a challenge that even the few I got in the beginning, they were like, okay, Remy, if we give you our money, how are we going to benefit? And I was like, no, you're not giving me your money. We are forming an investment club where we are going to save our money, and then we find the best investment where to put our money. So I realized that people were like coming to me as if they were like borrowing me money.
It's like like they feel like they're giving it to you. It's not for their benefit.
Yes.
Because you're the one who is starting the investment club.
So I realized that another thing was they were so busy, but they were doing nothing. You know, that kind of life.
They don't create time for the valuable things.
Exactly.
Because they feel like it's your thing.
where you're so busy. So
Yeah.
this is the biggest challenge that so many investment clubs are facing. That the dream bearer, is
The mobilizer.
they leave everything to that person. They come to
They
you.
do the weightlifting.
Yeah, they come to you and they be like they are borrowing you that money for you to look for investment options.
So it's up to you.
It's up to you.
No collectiveness.
No teamwork, nothing.
teamwork.
That's why so many investment clubs, they have been asking this question that we start with a lot of energy. That we want to invest, but in the course of the day we be like we are busy.
Yeah, like you lose the interest. But I think it's not just with investment clubs. Naturally, as humans, when something is new, it has that spark, it's energizing, it's exciting. Anything we do, you feel like at the beginning it's really rosy, there's a future, but then when you try to do it a few weeks in, you feel like it's boring, it's becoming monotonous. So we then tend to go down, and now getting that fuel back, that's where now I think maybe these investment groups need to have a plan and a guide.
Yeah.
What are our goals? Where are we coming together? Where are we investing together? If you have certain rules or objectives painted somewhere or printed out or put somewhere so that you can keep on referencing. Every time you're getting off track, it's easier to get back on track. That's what I think.
That's it. That's it is. But Sharon, let me tell you something. I've realized one thing in life that if you cannot translate something from maybe a foreign language into your mother tongue, then that means you don't know something. You don't understand that thing. So here in Uganda, particular, I would say Uganda because I'm here in Uganda. So many people, they are good at answering the questions the way we are taught in school, but they are not good at translating those questions into the language that they understand. So this is the same problem that we are having with investment clubs, that you will set up a good investment strategy. You will have all the policies, you will have the goal, you will have the vision. But if you ask your members, can you translate our vision into the language that we all speak, they will fail to translate that vision. So if you cannot translate that vision into your own language, that means you've not understood anything. So
They're just words.
Exactly. How do you expect them to implement those goals and and to follow the vision that we want to be here and let's work towards getting there? So I think here in Uganda, of course, we have investment clubs, but we don't understand
what
investment clubs means.
Okay.
Another challenge is uncommitted members. You remember our first point?
Yes.
That people come to you and be like, yes, we are giving you the money. Means they are not taking part in the investment.
So they think contribution is all that it takes to build a successful investment group.
That's what they think.
Okay.
And if you have uncommitted members, that means you're going to bring burden to the leadership. And and remember, these things they are not paid for. Most of the clubs, they don't pay their administrators.
Yeah, it's the members that are actually doing the actual accounting, the reporting.
Exactly.
Okay.
So in the end of the day, you will find that someone will feel overburdened. And in the course of the day, everyone will be like, I'm giving up. Now we have also another challenge of a poor leadership.
Correct.
That some people, when they start these investment clubs, they feel entitlement. They feel entitled that they should be at the top. They should be the final person.
The decision makers.
Everything ends with me. Starts with me and ends with me.
So leadership is quite a big challenge.
Leadership is quite a big challenge. So, and if you bring these leaders and you try to ask them, okay, tell me about your investment club, they cannot articulate anything. They cannot say anything apart from, we are saving and and we are investing. If you ask them, what are you investing in? And of course, we're still lacking that.
Okay.
That so many people will give you two options, either buying land or building rentals.
That's all they know.
That's all they know. So that's what I said in the beginning, that we still lack more knowledge about what real investment means.
Correct.
Because if you read about these other developed countries, you find them talking about investing in big companies, bank shares. It's talking about stock market, talking about that and that. And here today, we are seeing that unit trust have started tapping into investment clubs. But still, people don't understand what unit trust means. And all what they do is, yes, we are giving you our money, fine, do the work for us. That's why most of the unit trust, the biggest offer they give is money markets.
Yeah. Short-term investments. Basically, money markets is short-term investments. Less than 1 year, you're able to invest money in short-term cash investments. Money markets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you talk about, if you ask these unit trust, I don't know how many we have. I think there are 3 to 4 interest managers.
Quite more. We have Sanlam. We have UAP, ICE Asset Management. We have Zeno Investment. We have Britam. Those are the big 5.
Those are the big 5.
Yeah.
And if you ask them, where do you invest your members' money? You see that most of these members who give them money, they don't want to lose money.
Correct. They're very low risk investments.
So they always want to go in money markets where they know that
which is a low return. And yet, with investment groups, you need to have diversification. So even if when you go, let's say for money markets or you're investing in bonds, I feel like investment clubs should be able to take a bit of more risk when they're investing as well. Because in investments, we're not just saving for short-term needs or short-term goals. We need to plan for liquidity. Money markets are very good for liquidity. Than to have money seated on a bank account, a money market fund works perfectly. If you're looking at a long to mid-term goal, you need actually to go out there and look out for investments that give growth. So growth is where you find things like stocks. So stocks, you're investing in a company that is listed, but you can also decide to do private debt. You find companies you can invest in. You can decide to do private equity. You get companies that you can invest in and take a part and a share in that business. So I feel like probably if investment groups do more research or use advisors to guide them on the various opportunities, it becomes much more easier.
That's it. But like I told you that we have a challenge of we don't understand what investment is.
You seek for guidance.
And even if you seek for guidance,
you seek for help.
Even if you seek for help, if a person tries to talk to you in terms you don't understand, you still don't understand.
Okay. So then maybe the problem is on the education and the literacy. You also need to find an advisor that can speak the language you understand, that can explain complex terms and make them much more easier.
Because, for example, now we are having an issue with these new IPOs.
Yeah, Airtel IPO.
All of them. I won't mention Airtel. I won't mention Airtel.
Yeah.
You will find that they are looking for people who are willing to buy shares.
Yes.
But everything is done in English, and this English is complicated.
Correct.
And if you go to a person and you tell them that, of course, I'm offering this, you will gain this and this. One, people will look at the returns.
Yes.
These IPOs offer small returns.
Yes.
And if you ask them to explain in details about what they really mean, they'll still take you to a foreign language.
Yeah.
And you find that we are competing with a few target market, that these are the few individuals who have been at university and
exposed,
and these are a few individuals in Kampala. But we all know that these we can call them middle class income earners. They are a bit not good at investing Because reason one, they are having debts. They want to make it in life. You know, we give here in Africa, particularly in Uganda, we think that a person to be successful, that person must be driving. That is one.
And owning a house.
You must own a house. Yeah.
Yes.
You must, you must live within a city center. Because if you ask those city dwellers, where do you reside? They'll tell you Nigeria, Chitintare, Chiwatule. They want to mention about in that only those areas. So you find that they are in too much debt. They are
debt for investment or debt for lifestyle?
Lifestyle.
Oh, okay, that's a big problem.
If the debt is taking you, where are you going to get the money to invest?
Correct.
Too much debt. They have. I don't know if in Uganda we have a mortgage. We call it.
We do.
We call it mortgage.
Yeah.
So they have mortgage. They are driving cars way
above their means.
Above their means, the fuel is high.
Yes.
Then they are taking their kids to expensive schools. You find a nursery kid going to a school paying over 2 million shillings.
Lifestyle is 3 times what they earn.
Exactly.
So you have to borrow to match up.
You borrow your future. You're borrowing your future because if you borrow 100
to buy a good car.
To
please your neighbor.
That means you're borrowing your future. For example,
to please your neighbor. It's not even for you.
We find that so many investment clubs are facing this issue that their members, they cannot live beyond 3 months without a job.
So they're not planning enough to have at least an emergencies fund that takes them 6 months should their income be cut off.
They are not.
So how much can they survive by? 1 month?
Even 1 month is bigger.
Crazy.
They cannot survive even 3 weeks. That's why when you find someone, when the job is gone, they just go into depression. Do
you remember the 100 you mentioned? That you call upon 100 people to set up an investment group and 3 say yes and the 97 say no? And even those even those three, 2 of them dropped out. They were like, this monthly savings and all that. So uncommitted members, and people forget the reason why they started. People forget why they came together to form an investment club. Okay. So, I would love you to actually give us some insights on what strategies can investment groups deploy or can clubs implement to at least have growth on their investments, or what have you done that has worked?
When it comes to growth, number one, growth is very painful. So everyone understands growth differently. So if we are talking about growth, here we are talking about dealing with money. That means we have to be with a legal structure in place. Legal structure, when you talk about legal structure, so many will be like, now who is going to fund those people? Because the lawyers are expensive. Registering these clubs is quite expensive. And so many, they don't know, how are we registering this club? Are we registering it as a business name? Are we registering it as a company, limited liability company? Are we registering it as what? Because when you go to the bank, they'll tell you, you just bring a certificate. You'll find that so many have been registered as a business name, and they reach a time when they want maybe to borrow money, they cannot give them that money. They tell them register as a limited liability company. So I think...
So there's an issue around registration, the right structure to follow. Because I've also seen quite a number of those register bylaws or a constitution that shows like the different rules and regulations for the group. And they at times find it hard to actually own property because then they need to go and re-register. So that registration bit, I think we need to call upon somebody on the future podcasts to come. We need to host someone to just come and explain to our listeners the best investment club structure to register and how to do it. So I think we'll have it in the near future.
And still that goes back to your vision and the goals. Because you find some guys, here we have got some good investment clubs where these people we call elites who earn some good living. they use these investment clubs to hide some money.
Oh.
And you'll find them saving millions and millions per month. So we cannot measure their success with salary earners. So success is quite different when we're talking about growth and success of the investment clubs.
So it's not just about the money, how much you're saving as a group. You find some clubs are having billions of shillings.
Exactly.
Others as small as 50 or 5 million shillings. So you're saying?
Exactly. And you find that we know an investment club which has billions and billions of money. But this investment club has over 1,000 members. And these are the members who save 2,000 shillings. This is quite the money. In Uganda, this is the only country where you find someone, you pass on street, and you say, hey, Sharon, you know what? Help me with 5K. And Sharon will give me 5K without asking me questions. But having got a chance to travel to some countries, I've not seen that.
Where you ask for free money.
Where you ask for free money and people just give
it to you.
Without asking questions. So you will find that so many people, they have put up a strategy like that where they will ask for small money, which won't make people to ask questions. But someone will be free to give you 2,000. Okay, let it be there. And if you have good numbers, for example, if you go into churches, now these investment clubs are working in churches because you find one church having 1,000 members, you're having another church having 500 members. And so when they tell them, bring 2,000, those members will bring 2,000 without even asking where this money is going. They will not even bother to know what this money has done, where has it been invested and all that. So it gives peace and comfort to these leaders, to correct that money. And, if you have cash, you have power. So you find that for them, they utilize the numbers they have. Now, we are talking about the investment clubs where these investment clubs have been formed by the families, by the OBs and OGs, maybe from the same school, have been formed by the friends or the community, where you're going to find 20 members, 10
smaller groups.
What are they going to invest in? That is also another question. What are they going to
invest
in? So growth and success is going to be quite different. Others they will measure their success because they have been managed to maintain that group for over 2 years without splitting.
They're not growing in terms of the value of their savings.
In the end, they call themselves an investment club, but every end of the year they do cash rounds. That now we have this amount of money, we save this, and they are comfortable with that. You find another group where they are like, we need to buy a small piece of land. If a member cannot afford a land, let's buy a big chunk of land somewhere, and then we divide this land. This is so common in teachers. Teachers always form those groups. Maybe they get a loan, they go buy a land, everyone gets a kaploti, 50 to 100. Then they start paying that loan slowly by slowly.
So coming together as an investment club helps you to actually go ahead and make investments you would not have done as an individual. So the collectiveness then helps you to pool money, invest in bigger projects like probably land that would have been slightly difficult to acquire if you were doing it alone.
Exactly. And of course, it minimizes the risks. For example, you are going to venture into a business and that business doesn't work out well for you. If you're so many, you lose little.
You lose little.
But the most important bit of it is you've understood.
You've shared the risk with the rest of
Not sharing the risks. No one wants to lose.
But
No,
that's investment.
no, sure. No one wants to lose. That's why we have seen so many companies offering these IPOs, failing to get or reaching their target number.
Of
Because
shares they want to sell.
exactly, because people like, I know you're speaking too much English. You know,
Break it down for me.
oyogera oluzungu lungi nze bye sibikola ki
Sibitegeera.
sibitegeera.
Ebyo eby'emigabo sibimanyi.
So that's why so many will go into land. They'll be like, yes, we bought land here. We can see it with our own eyes.
So it's
and
still,
we are sharing it.
It's still more on the literacy side, where we need to now break it down in local languages, make it easy for people to understand and relate to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Another issue would be organizational structure. Organizational structure is where you find the leader, and of course they know the terms they have to serve. It's not that Remy, I started this investment
For
club,
life.
now it belongs to me.
Yes,
You don't
I'll
want
be the chair all through.
You don't want to leave the chair like somebody, but you always want to be there. However much people try to tell you that, hey, I think you've run out of ideas. You need to step aside, and we
give
get
chance to fresh ideas, and
they'll be like, no. I'd rather pull out my
investment.
And
so at least what you're trying to say is leadership is key, but changing leadership is also part of the growth that the investment club needs to have. You can't always be the only idea or sole good leader in the world.
Exactly.
Give chance to others.
Because, for example, if you are looking at an investment club to last for 100 years, how are you going?
Succession plan.
How are you going to live for 100 years?
Even fresh ideas, because you only know what you know. If you bring 5 different people in the same room, you're going to actually find that those 5 people have different ideas, and combined together, you have great or better output in terms of result than one person being the sole person that is leading the team. So I get what you're saying. Exactly. So I would love you to conclude to our listeners, and the conclusion would be mainly around what are those things that contribute to a successful investment club?
If you've been listening to us from where we started from, of course you know, and you get your own answer. Number 1 would be understanding the reason why you created the investment club. Understanding why you're into it. Understand why investment club exists. So if you don't have goals and objectives, it's going to be very difficult for you to maintain an investment club. If you don't have an operational plan, how are you going to survive? So you need the operational plan, you need goals and objectives, and you need to explain these goals and objectives to your members. If possible, translate your vision, translate your mission into the language that they understand. Get them to understand why they need to save. Tell them, give them practical ideas, give them practical knowledge that, for example, if you're having a target of 500 millions, you cannot save this money alone. Sharon, if we could count that, Sharon, I need 500 millions. Oh, me, Remy, I need 500 million saved, but my salary gives me 1 million per month. And out of 45 millions that we have in Uganda, you will find that it's only like 10% of the population can earn 1 million per month.
It could be less. It could be
so
less.
If we are to say that I need 500 millions
yes.
On my account, how long is it going to take you? Let's say you're saving for 1 million shillings every month without touching that money. No sickness, no food, nothing. You will need almost like 45 years. 45 or 46 years, to reach that target.
As we conclude this particular show, I've seen clubs that come to me. They waste your time. You can even have 3 conversations, 5, 6, 10 conversations, but they never take the leap to actually go ahead and make the investment. Guess what? One individual on the team who has no clue about investments is the one making decisions. And that really makes me feel so hurt. Everybody's making investment decisions even when they don't have the background. So those that have seen successful are the ones that actually go ahead and form what we call an investment committee. And they leave investment decisions for a select few that maybe have an accounting background and a finance background, an investment background. Not every person in the team has to make decisions on investments. If you leave it for the entire team to make decisions, one person who doesn't believe in what you're proposing to them, even when you're proposing the list of risk, which is money markets or bonds or, investing in treasury bills and fixed income, as they wait on to investing in these other big projects they want to invest in, they don't take the decision to.
Because they don't understand.
No. It's not about the understanding. It's having the wrong people make decisions. People without the background and the knowledge about investment. You can't make decisions on investments if you are not knowledgeable.
Exactly.
So I think also when you're coming up with your members, if you want to get your village champions, like here in my village where I stay, I'm not only going to get people that are my friends. We need to also be a bit intentional on who we bring on board. If our information or knowledge we have is farming and we are farmers alone, it's better to have an accountant on board. It's better to have a teacher. That diversity in knowledge is very key, because I find it of a bit of a challenge if the group only knows a certain way of doing things and they're not willing to challenge themselves to learn new things. I've also seen like maybe engineers. Those are a bit okay because, they are engineers, but they also understand a bit of finance because they're trading and they know how money moves. But look at people that are not banked. Look at people that might be banked, but they only know, let's say doctor, all they know is medicine.
Exactly.
They've not been able to go ahead and learn about investments. It's very difficult for them to actually know that when you're investing in a money market or a collective investment scheme, your money's more safe than keeping it at the bank.
Exactly.
Do you get my point?
I get.
So as we wrap up this podcast, it's really a long discussion we can have here on investment groups and investments. How safe can you be able to get your members' money invested? We've learned today that saving alone is not good enough. We've learned from Remy that you're not an investment club if you're not investing. If you're just saving and sharing this money in December to go to the village and enjoy, go on a holiday, please stop calling yourselves investment clubs. Probably call yourselves something else, saving group. Onigina. Yes, in Luganda, Nigina is a cash round. You collect money and then at the end of the year, at the end of the month, you give it to somebody. So we're saying for investment clubs to be called investment clubs, you need to invest your money and you can start small. You don't have to really start too big. We've also learned in this episode today that you need to have good structures. You need to have the strategy. You need to have a vision and goal. And I thank you so much for taking off time to join me in the studios. It's been a great